Hello and welcome to another edition of Luminar Coffee Break. I'm your host, Vanelli. Now, excuse me, our topic today is how to create a rustic, old-fashioned cowboy look. All right, let's dive right in. So here's an image I took out west of the Badlands in South Dakota. Yes, I misspelled Dakota down here. If I don't mention that, I know somebody else will. When I was showing this image the other day, there was one thing someone brought up, and I thought it was kind of interesting. Anyways, I love this shot. What we're going to do is something a little different. Let's bring it into Aurora, just to have it tone map it, and then bring it back into Luminar to create the look. Now, I'm going to show you both ways on how to do this. But I'm going to right-click, and this is just a little extra tidbit. I like going through Finder or through Windows Explorer while I stay inside Luminar, okay? So I just did that now. I don't have to search my hard drive for this image. I'll right-click on the image, and then I'm going to choose Open In or Open With. Since I don't see Aurora, I'm going to choose another app, and there it is on top. I'll grab it and select OK. And now it's going to open up Aurora. Let me just hide this down here. And it's going to tone map the image for us. So let me bring this down. There it is. All right. So what is Aurora? So Aurora is an HDR program, high dynamic range. And what we're going to have it do, we don't need any of this, is I could use a bracket set of photos, let's say like 5 shots. One regular shot, one underexposed, one overexposed. 2 stops over or underexposed, 2 stops overexposed. So it gets that full dynamic range, and you put those 5 bracketed images inside here, and it tone maps it for you. So it makes it look just absolutely gorgeous. We can still get a similar effect just with one image. So I'm going to create the HDR look here, and we'll give it a second to do its magic. Now again, this is tone mapping. When we first get it, it's going to look flat, and then we can start to create our look with it. We could do all of this inside Aurora, but not to the same degree that we could do it into Luminar. So it's a great companion program. Now typically, I don't do this on portraits because I don't really want the HDR look on their face. But the cool thing about this is because I have a scene, and I have people in the scene. Oh, look at this. I have people in the scene. It's not going to look nearly as harsh as the HDR stuff. So look at this. So, oh, I love how they came out. So now that I have this set, I'm not going to do anything in Aurora. Now I could, like I said, come down here and select some of the collection of looks that we have there. All I'm going to do is come over here to File and Export. And I'm going to export it back to the same folder that I had it in. And I want to export it as a TIFF. And I'm going to leave the size, actual size. I want to change the depth size to 16. I'm going to add under here tone map. So now I know it's different, and I'm going to browse. And let's see, I know it's under the E drive, and of course I have it under my underscore photography is my main folder. This was shot at a workshop. And it was the Badlands, or the Black Hero Photo Shootout in South Dakota. So I have it here, and select it, and export. Good. Now it's going to export it to the same folder that it came from. Doing that means Luminar is going to automatically see it. So when I go back into Luminar, I'm automatically going to see the image in there, and then we'll go from there. All right? Let's give it a second while we do this. Good. Gary mentioned good. He didn't know that we're able to use Aurora just with one image. And a little tidbits of knowledge here. Hello, Russell. Hello, Kevin. San Diego. Buongiorno. I got to start asking my French friends to start teaching me French. All right, so it's done here. I'm going to close out of this. And I'm going to go right back into Luminar. There we are. All right, so we're back into Luminar now. And I'm going to come up here, South Dakota. Here we go. And let's see if this is the one that just came in. So that's the original. We'll give it a second to show up. And instead of wasting time here, okay, here it is, the tone mapping. What I want to do is, but that's a JPEG. So if I go out and back, I know what we'll do. Here's the easiest way to figure it out. 7336. So 7336 down here, if you see on the bottom, is the number my camera assigned to it. So if I go back here, let's click on the search. And what was it? 7336. There's 13 items. Good, so I found these. And 7336. Almost there. Good. Was that the tone mapping? And here it is. Got it. Good. So it did bring it in. But do you see a little tip I just showed you there? By coming up here to the search field, you could search on your images. In this case, 7336. All right. So here's the tone map image. Now what I'm going to do, let me shut this off over here. A little distracting. There. Now what I'm going to do is start with the first thing that I want fixed, and that's the crop. So I do want to crop this way down because the sky wasn't that interesting, and I like it to where it looks like they're in an area that just goes on forever. And this, what by the way, is the Pony Express. There we go. And, oh, try that again. There we go. All right. Yep, I like it. Make sure I hit the same button again. There we go. All right, good. I just like, and yes, I wish I zoomed in a little bit more when I took this shot, but we fixed it here. All right, so now that we have that set, I'm going to easily come over here, and I could just pick one of the presets that I created. I'm going to show you this in a moment, not a preset, but a template, and it's going to instantly give me the look I'm going for. I love this, but I'd rather show you how I created it. So I'm going to come over here and go to the original. There it is, here. All right, so first step, enhance. So I want to come over and apply Accent AI. Then I'm going to come down, and I'm looking at the color. I just want to desaturate. There we go. Look at that. I want to desaturate it a little bit, but I want to bring out the vibrancy just a touch because that's going to work on the muted colors. This saturation is, look at it, slowly giving me that rustic look that I'm going for. Now, this type of image screams for detail. So I'm going to use Structure AI instead because I don't want it to appear on the cowboys. I just want the structure to appear in the background. And one more thing, let me go back up to light for a moment. Let's open up the shadows a little bit, because I'm noticing just a little dark. And then I want to bring the black point down to make it enrich, and bring the white point up a little bit higher. Good. All right, so now that I have that set, one of my all-time favorite tools is this dramatic tool. You've seen me use it with the Sports Grit look and the Assassin series, the Tank series. Using it with a different amount on each gives me a different look and feel on each of the series I've created. Now, I don't want to, and I'm going to click on brightness and saturation. I don't want to saturate anymore because I used color to do that. So I'm going to bring this way back. Right there. So now that's back to the default. And brightness, I'm going to decide, ooh, that's too dark. That's good. Let's bring the amount up just a little bit more. Nope, that's good there. And here's the local contrast. I'm going to dial that back just a bit. And let's make it just a little bit brighter. Okay, there we go. All right, so I have that set. Now, from here, I can come down to the super contrast. And let's check out some of the highlights. Let's see if we can balance it. Ooh, I like that there. What about the midtones? And lastly, the shadows. Yeah, right about here. All right. Good, look at that. And just turn the tool on and off to see the changes that it's making. Now, let's see. I'm not quite sure if Face AI is going to recognize, because do you remember when we originally cropped it, it was a huge image with itty bitty guys in it. So so Face AI doesn't see their faces because their faces are not that large in the scene. So that's fine. We'll just come down here to the Dodge and Burn tool, lighten, and let's apply a small amount because we can always build up on it. And all I'm going to do is take my pen and just do a couple brush strokes onto their face. There we have it. Ooh, I like that. Give it a second to render. Good. All right, so there we have this. Now, at this point, we could just end it, and we have a really nice image here, or we could take it another step further and start directing the light onto the cowboys. So I'm going to choose the vignette, choose the subject, which should be right about here. And I don't want too much of it, but I do want it, look at that. I do want to bring it down and add a little inner light, just a touch. Now the focus right about here is being driven to the cowboys. Look at that. And again, if you felt that working on this image for 4 minutes was too short, you can come in and click on the Dodge and Burn tool again, click on Darken, lower the strength way back, and then with your brush size a little bit large, do the same thing. All I'm going to do is flick a little bit on the bottom. Look at that. Just add a little darkness into some of these areas here. And I'm not going overboard. There we go. And we're set there. So look at the difference that made. Just that little bit. Now, in the case like here where I went overboard, I'm going to come back over to erase and just get rid of that. All right, and we're set. So here we are, before and after. Now, you could take it another step further, and we can apply another one of my favorite tools is the mystical tool. And this tool here is designed to to give it that mystic, that glow effect. That's at an extreme. A lot of times it only requires just a little bit, you know, it's like adding salt to your food. Just a little bit makes a big difference, and then we're set. So once again, here's before, and here's after. Now, do I have to use Aurora to do this? The answer is no. So I was hoping Jerry of all people were going to ask me that question. Do you have to use Aurora to get the same effects? No, but the tone mapping gives it a unique effect. So imagine if these cowboys were to commission me to do this work for them, and they're paying me quite a bit of money. Well, I have to decide how much time am I going to put into this. You know, if they're paying me quite a bit of money, yes, I'm going to take extra time and put it in, or if I wanted to put this into an art show or into a contest, yeah, you spend as much time as you need. And a lot of people just have fun editing. Personally, I have more fun photographing, and editing is good. It's a necessity, but I like to get in, get my edits done, and then boom, move on to another shoot. Some people love to spend hours and hours on a photo, and that's great. Luminar is going to help you to become creative. Once you get the look that you're going for, then you can continue and take it down different avenues. All right? Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, or if you want to leave comments, please do so in the comments below. We've talked about this before. We do have Luminar Insider's program. And by the way, I just realized this. If we come up here to Luminar, and I click on Help, there it is, Luminar Insider. So if you're not part of the Insider program, I suggest you do that. Join, it's free. And let me pull it up in here. And there's a wealth of information in there. And as you all know, today was a soft launch. So some of our friends got Luminar AI Update 4 already. So if you want to see what's new in Luminar 4 or get an inside look at it, join the Insider program here. Let me open this up. So from inside Luminar, click on the Insiders program, come in, join it, and then tomorrow, I believe it is tomorrow, let's check. What's the schedule? Okay, okay, this is great. So Rich Harrington wrote a beautiful article on the AI Insiders get the first look at Update 4, which is coming, and some people already have it, so you can check it out here. Also, if you click on events, you'll notice he's giving an update tomorrow at 11 a.m. Tomorrow at 11 a.m., he's going to be giving a briefing on Luminar AI update, the update, and you're welcome to attend that. And if you notice also, we have coffee breaks at 1 p.m. Eastern time every day. Those are interactive coffee breaks to where we try our best with YouTube, but the timing is not the same. Here, you have one-on-one, to where you can just open up your mic, and the first 5 minutes of the show, like it was today, it was to teach you how to create the assignment we're talking about. After that, we open the floor for questions and answers, and then we open it up to Ask Me Anything, to where you can ask Angela or myself any question pertaining to photography, to editing, to which gear you should get, you name it. That's your time to spend with us, to ask us questions that'll make you a better storyteller. All right? So guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you at the next coffee break.